Wink News begins with breaking news.
A fire is burning right now in Bonita Springs. It's happening near Renaissance Boulevard and South Tamiami Trail.
Wink News reporter Nika Henninger is live on the scene for us now. Nika, what can you see right now?
Well, we've been out here for over an hour now, and the smoke has cleared up quite a bit, but there are still a lot of firefighters out here. Bonita Fire told us that there's approximately 5 acres out here, mostly trees and a field, no homes that was on fire, but that fire is out. It's mostly embers now, and they're still putting, you can see that water on it, but they said no homes are in danger, no homes were in danger, and no evacuations, thankfully, but you can expect smoke throughout the night and tomorrow, which is why they'll be here probably throughout the night and tomorrow as well. They said, again, fire is out, and that's one reason they said a lot of smoke is still coming up, and they're going to be here continuing on throughout the night and tomorrow. So we'll keep you updated on that. They said if you're driving through the area to also take caution because the smoke with the wind can blow out there. We're live in Bonita Springs. Nika Henninger, Wink News now.
Well, happy Saturday, everyone. We have had a lovely day. Plenty of sunshine across southwest Florida, but now seeing one lone shower popping up mainly between the trail as well as Alligator Alley. And most of this rain continuing to work towards the northwest. So if you are watching from Lately, Naples, Golden Gate, and the Estates, may see some light rain if this area of rain holds together as it is tracking towards your direction. We start nice and dry for your Sunday morning tomorrow. A few more storms possible tomorrow afternoon and also through the evening. We'll take a closer look at your Sunday forecast and, of course, that 10-day forecast when I come back.
And first on week, you can see here a traffic mess. A stretch of US 41 is shut down right now in South Fort Myers after a massive gas leak forces the evacuations of some businesses and a country club golf course. Now here's what we're talking about. The northbound lanes are closed between Bear Cliff and Alico here on Tamiami Trail. Wink News reporter Morgan Reiner is live at the scene now. Morgan, the repairs are affecting natural gas users only?
Yes, San Carlos Fire says gas for up to 15,000 customers could be affected from where I am on 41 all the way down to Marco Island. Now you can see crews are working right now to repair that line. And while they do this, officials say they've had to slow or possibly shut off gas lines. Some businesses say they've had to close down because theirs has been cut off and on all day. One business just told me their gas got shut off again a few minutes ago.
When I left, everything was fine. An hour and a half later, come home, or try to come home, and here they had 41 blocked off from Briarcliff to Alico.
Daryl left her house in Island Park this morning thinking she would be right back to walk her dogs.
It's like, okay, I need to figure out how I'm going to get home because I got dogs at home that probably need to go out. So, yeah.
And when she found out it was a gas leak, she started to worry even more.
And I have a bird who lives out on the patio, and I hope he's okay because they're pretty sensitive to gas and things like that.
For hours.
Oh, it's been a couple hours now.
She tried to figure out what to do with her time while her neighborhood was blocked off.
So I need to do grocery shopping. I could do that, but I thought I could be sitting out here for a long time and the cold stuff's going to get warm.
San Carlos Park Fire Department says crews broke a main supply line on the east side of US 41 near Island Park Road.
The gas coming out of it is making the sound of a jet engine, so it's a large amount of gas.
Crews evacuated Island Park Plaza, businesses across the street, and Forest Country Club golfers.
And obviously, if anybody potentially becomes injured from this or has any exposure to the gas that might affect them, then we would obviously give medical care along with the county EMS.
Right now, crews are standing by just in case a fire does ignite. Northbound on 41 is still shut down, so trust Wink News to let you know when it reopens. Live in South Fort Myers, Morgan Reiner, Wink News Now.
Well, thank you, Morgan. One person is dead tonight after a power parachute accident. It happened today in DeSoto County near Northeast Highway 17 and Northeast Carson Street. You can see the parachute there and the crushed engine. The DeSoto County Sheriff's Office hasn't released the victim's name yet. You can trust Wink News to let you know the cause of the crash when we find out.
Police are investigating a suspected shooting outside Looker's Strip Club. That's right here on Fowler Street between Colonial Boulevard and Winkler Avenue. Police blocked off the parking lot with crime scene tape just before 2 o'clock this morning. A witness tells us two friends were hanging out after the club closed, and at some point one shot the other in the shoulder and took off. We're still working to confirm that with investigators, though. Police and a helicopter also appeared to be searching nearby. Trust Wink News to let you know if they find anyone. Another shooting overnight, this one in Immokalee. The Collier County Sheriff's Office says it happened a little after 10 o'clock last night at the Crestview Apartments. Neighbors we spoke to say they heard several gunshots.
When we were walking around, we heard gunshots go off, and then we kind of went like behind a house we were walking by, so that way, like in case anything happened.
Deputies say 2 people were hurt but will survive. No word on what caused someone to start shooting.
And this man, the center of a murder case that spans several Florida counties, is found guilty. A jury found Daniel Davenport guilty of second-degree murder. Collier County investigators say he killed Sergio Hostens in Naples Park. Construction workers found his body wrapped in carpeting, AC, duct wrap, and plastic bags. Davenport went on the run, but investigators caught up to him in Orlando shortly after the murder.
Here's a story that will make you shake your head. Cops find a 7-week-old baby in a home with a meth lab. Investigators arrested Nicholas James. It happened Thursday in Naples. The sheriff's office says they found marijuana and a glass pipe in the bathroom, along with meth-making chemicals and equipment in the garage. James is facing a slew of charges.
And still no sign of this bank robber. You can see him here pass a note to the teller, and then the teller start filling up an envelope here. Well, investigators say he didn't show off a weapon and no one was hurt. And it all happened at the bank OZK along Hancock Bridge Parkway in Cape Coral yesterday. You can see police putting down evidence markers shortly after this happened. You can trust Wink News to let you know when this man's caught.
What's in the water? That's a question several agencies are trying to answer today. They recruited your friends and neighbors to collect water samples across Southwest Florida. As Wink News reporter Anika Henniger tells us, they'll test those samples to see what they can find.
This Saturday morning, people on Fort Myers Beach collected something so important they used any way possible to get it. By bike, like Robin Gornto.
They gave us clean vials. I had to go wade in up to my waist, then bend down and collect it up past my elbow. Seal it off, keep it cool, bring it back.
By boat, and even with a baby.
But it's cool to bring them down here and be able to show them that, hey, when you were 2, you were helping out too.
About 50 volunteers helped collect water samples around Fort Myers Beach, including the Gulf and Estero Bay waters.
Everybody knows one another and everybody wants to help.
So Florida Gulf Coast University's Water School, the Mound House, and NOAA teamed up with the community to collect data from 44 spots about a mile apart.
So it saves a lot of money, and a lot of time, and a lot of resources having the volunteers.
Students and researchers tested one sample from each site on location while educating volunteers about the whole process.
I'd like to see what the water here is all about, what's in it, make sure it's safe.
They sent another sample from each site to the lab to test for nutrients in the water.
That will be what can cause blooms of algae.
They'll use the results from Saturday to compare to results they plan to collect months later. With this, organizers say the community and researchers can pinpoint areas to focus on in the work to improve Southwest Florida's water quality. Anika Henniger, Wink News Now.
The Mound House said as part of this project, they're hoping to expand teaching about water quality to local elementary schools, and they'll need more volunteers for their next sampling in a few months. Happening today, Lake O releases. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says they're stepping up flows to the Caloosahatchee. These releases are linked to the algae crisis and can change the color of our water at the coast. The Corps spent the winter trying to lower the lake levels to prevent massive releases during the rainy season.
91% of city roads in Cape Coral do not have any sidewalks. That's according to city officials. And adding more is the latest discussion in the city's push to increase school bus stop safety in Cape Coral. There are no sidewalks at the bus stop where 8-year-old Layla Aiken was hit and killed back in March, and her tragic death is still heavy on the minds of parents.
I know I'm going to be most likely driving him to school just because of that fear.
They need to put their money where it really matters, and it's the safety for our children. They need to put the sidewalks on all the streets.
But adding sidewalks to all of the streets could cost Cape Coral over $3 billion, and that's just one of the options city leaders plan to talk about on Monday. You can trust Wink News to let you know what city leaders decide.
Today is a big day for a lot of teens in our area. This weekend is graduation for more than a dozen Southwest Florida schools, so you could see some traffic in certain spots. Today alone, Estero, Lehigh Senior, and North Fort Myers High Schools will graduate from Alico. South Fort Myers, Dunbar, and East Lee County High Schools will cross the stage at Hertz Arena, and Mariner, Cape Coral, and Cypress Lake High Schools will toss their caps at Suncoast Arena at FSW. For a complete list of start times and to see who's graduating where tomorrow, head over to the Wink News app. We've posted all of the details right there.
And is your family ready for hurricane season? Wink News is the weather authority. That's why we held a hurricane conference for you today. If you missed it, don't worry. We'll take you there next.
And storms are breaking out all over the country, where neighbors took cover from this tornado.
Speaking of storms, luckily not severe. We are seeing some lightning southeast of Naples and Golden Gate. Some of these continue to work towards the northwest. We'll take a closer look when I come back.
Wink News is the weather authority. You'll remember this. Hurricane season just days away now. We want to make sure you and your family are ready for the storm.
That's right. And that's why we held a hurricane conference today in Charlotte County. The whole weather authority team was there to answer your questions. Wink News reporter Bray Hollingsworth takes us there.
Charlotte County neighbors say they're prepping for hurricane season.
Food, medical supplies, emergency contact information, charger for my phone.
And emergency teams want to make sure you're ready to weather the storm. Over 30 vendors from all over Southwest Florida came to participate in the 2019 Hurricane Expo. From prepping your windows and doors to storm plans from the Wink News Weather Authority.
We're educating the people that have come about what a hurricane is, when hurricanes form, when they most likely will form, what the impacts can be.
New homeowners like Bill Gobin say the expo comes just in time, and he's already making his list.
We need storm shutters on the house. We need to probably get a generator, and we need to have our hurricane kit prepared.
And longtime neighbors like Ken Fetter still remember the damage Hurricane Charlie left behind.
I was sitting in a closet with 3 dogs and watching the roof being blown off the house. That was very frightening.
And he says he's making sure he's better prepared this time around. In Punta Gorda, Brea Hollingsworth, Wink News Now.
And you can find more tips on hurricane preparedness in the 2019 Wink News Hurricane Guide. You can pick up your copy at your nearest Publix soon. And now is a great time to download the Wink Weather app. We have a whole section dedicated to hurricane season. There's a ton of information on there you can use to make sure you and your family are prepared.
Well, check out this tornado. It happened last night in Kansas. Friday night, severe weather was only round 1 of several expected over the next few days. And Kansas isn't the only place experiencing these tornadoes. Several towns in Texas are getting hit today as well. Unfortunately, here in sunny Florida, we're dealing with a lot of sun and hot temperatures.
That's right.
Yeah, things are definitely on the hot side. We saw that today, and we are seeing a few showers now popping up on Doppler radar. Here's a 1-hour time lapse of what's going on right now.
The college remembers the stress of looking for that first job post-graduation. Port Charlotte alum Morgan Kostler just graduated from Sterling College in Kansas. Her first job, pro softball in Taiwan. Can you give me some Mandarin right now?
Probably not. No. Okay. I'm just winging it.
Now, Morgan will have a translator, thankfully for her, whenever she suits up for the Chianan Eagles of the Taiwan Professional Women's Softball League. It's one of the top women's softball leagues in the world. So, as someone who wanted to continue her softball career as long as possible, the decision for Morgan to head over there was easy.
I just try not to think about it so much, especially now I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and actually think about that. I'm flying to Taiwan at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Do it while you can, get out of your comfort zone, you know, not much to lose.
Morgan turned down other offers from multiple countries, including one here in America, and that is definitely outside of your comfort zone. So good for her and good luck to her.
Absolutely. Well, thanks. Let's get a final check of weather tonight.
Pretty hot for this afternoon. We felt that all afternoon long, and things are going to get even hotter. 91 for tomorrow, 90 for Monday. Can still see a few storms for your Sunday, Monday afternoon, though, mainly inland, and then we dry out, and the afternoon temperatures will rise. 92 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Memorial Day weekend is looking quite toasty. Guys, keep in mind the now average high temperature is at 90 degrees, so this is basically how it's supposed to feel.
Yeah, and some beach trips there.
I guess so.
Dry.
Yeah.
Well, dry-ish.
For now.
For now.
We'll see you back here at 11. Have a good night.